Good afternoon. It's Thursday. Checking my calendar, 4th of June. Welcome to Inspiring Inkin Facebook page. I'm Amanda Fowler, and today is part 2 of the Stamping Up 2020 annual catalogue launch. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to grab my iPad and make sure I am live in the right place. I always like to check. And if you're here, welcome, and do give me some hearts or leave a comment, something like that, so I know that you are here. So it just always takes a minute or two for it to catch up. Right, okay, we are good to go. Fantastic. Okay, so people here already. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me just sort my top out. Okay, so Lynn is here, Amanda's here, Roz is here, Trish is here. I'm pleased you collected the catalogue. I didn't even hear you come, so I would have had a socially distanced chat, but you obviously whizzed and disappeared again. So I'm pleased that you finally got it. Obviously, if your other one, or when your other one turns up, pass it on to a friend for me. That'd be cool. Right, so Jackie's here, my mum's in the building. Hi, Mum. Linda's here, Claire's here, Lucianne's here, Chris is here. Brilliant. So lots of people are here today. So how are you doing? It's turned a bit chilly again here in Hampshire. The duvet was on again yesterday. I haven't resorted to the heating yet. It's because Brian's working at home and he'd notice. But yeah, I haven't resorted to the heating, but it is a bit chilly. That's why I got my cardigan on today, and I got socks on, so it must be a bit chilly. So how are we doing? Oh, Trish said she waved to Brian. Yeah. So Brian, so I don't know whether you know, but there are 4 of us working from home at the moment here. So obviously I always work from home. And Brian's working from home most days. He's a key worker, so he goes into the office some days, but not every day. Most of the time he's at home. And then Connor and his girlfriend are living with us at the moment. So they have upstairs bedrooms that they've converted into offices. So they're working from home as well. So yeah, it's kind of busy. We do have to kind of stagger, or when we're all crazy using the internet though. So as otherwise things all go a bit wrong. Right, so Chris, you're making me laugh. Chris said she thought that she might be late, but then realised she could bring her soup and eat and chat to us. Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. Maureen's here, Claire's here, Hannah's here. Amanda can only stay for half an hour. Well, I better get on to the good stuff quick then. And Anne is here as well. Okay, so very excitingly, the 3 winners from yesterday's prize draw are in the building. So, Anne Hardacre, you won the embossing folder. I did leave a comment this afternoon. So you won this. Jackie, you won the jankin. What kind of a word is that? Jackie Barsky, you won the Pierce mat. And Maureen Russell, you won the meerkats. So I believe I have all of your addresses. I will pop those in the post to you over the weekend. That's when I'm doing my next postage run. So I did promise that there would be prizes every day. So there are 3 prizes again today. And the 3 prizes are some you can't see them. It sounds good though, doesn't it? Bird ballad trinkets. There are flowers and keys, little metal embellishments. They're really pretty. You'll love those. There is a stamp and pierce mat. There's going to be one of these every day. These are amazing. Everybody needs one. And actually, I'm using mine today. I'm using mine. Sounds like I've only got one. Ha! I've got about 20. but I am using one of my mats today. And then a take your pick tool, which doesn't look very exciting in its brown box, but I'm going to be using it on the cards today, so you're going to love this. So whoever wins this is going to be really happy. Okay, so that's those. Debbie Hackett is here. Hi Debbie, lovely to see you. And Faye didn't get a notification. That's kind of strange. But you're under the blanket on the sofa. I hope you're feeling okay, and you're just comfy there. And Nicola's here, and Julia's here as well. Awesome. So, anyone got anything exciting to share? I know several of you placed orders yesterday. It was a bit crazy yesterday. I was still working quite late last night. But that's catalogue launch day for you. And that's IT Gremlins. There were a few of them yesterday. But I think they've all been chased off. They all seem to be okay now. So I will do a couple of reminders for those of you who are my European customers. You're my European friends. So if you are resident in France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, you can shop with me, absolutely. But make sure when you go to the online store, you click at the top left-hand side and change the country to the country you're resident in and then start shopping. The basket is kind of tied to the country. So if you start shopping with me, obviously I'm based in the UK, and then swap it over, your basket disappears. And, you know, when you've been picking stuff, you don't want to have to fill your basket again. And also, for all of those of you that use the online store, there's now a feedback button. And it's Bermuda Bay in colour, and it's on the right-hand side. So if you find a gremlin or something that isn't quite right, then click on that and it'll ask you, is it this page that's giving you a problem? And you can kind of click on stuff so it goes straight to the IT department so they can fix it. So I'm very excited about that, because that means that when you come across a problem, you can actually let us know and it can get sorted out. But I think everything else has been fixed today. And saying she doesn't normally win anything. Well, there you go. That's maybe this is the beginning of a winning streak. Perhaps buy a lottery ticket this week. You never know. Maybe your luck has changed. Oh, Linda has shared. Thank you, Linda. I really appreciate that. You can share my live video. As you're looking at it, where you can write a comment or do the hearts, on the left-hand side, there's a little arrow that says share, and you can share it on your page. So I would really, really appreciate it if you did that, because that helps me reach lots of other crafters. And actually lots of other people that don't know they're crafters yet. Because, you know, we all started not any crafting, and then somebody showed us something and we thought, oh, I could have a go at that. So please do share. And everything, the shares and all the comments, I go through and give them all a number, and then I get some randomly generated numbers, and that's who wins the prize. So do chat to me and send messages as you are doing. Faye's stubbed her toe. So that's why she's under the blanket. And she's thinking about ordering a trimmer. Our new trimmer is awesome. I know there's quite a few people here who've got the trimmer actually. Maybe they can sort of say. Yeah, the blade issue is an ongoing issue with different trimmers. So yeah, ours is fab. You'll really like it. Okay, right. So a couple of things from the catalogue. I hope that anyone who didn't have their catalogue yesterday has actually got it today. So again, if you haven't got a catalogue and you'd like a catalogue and you'd like to shop with me, then send me a message or an email, amanda@inspiringinkin.com, and I'll pop one in the post to you. I can send catalogues to people in the UK, Austria, the Netherlands, Germany and France. And I'm afraid they're the only countries in which I can sell products and send catalogues and things too. So if you're in one of those, then send me a message and your address and I'll get one in the post. A couple of things that I wanted to point out to you today. So page 121, these are dotted throughout the catalogue, but this is actually showing you how you can do two-step stamping. I'm just going to move it so you can see the right bit. So there's little techniques in the catalogue, so watch out for those. Obviously in the catalogue there are lots and lots and lots of different ideas and samples for you to see. And something else that I thought was really cool in this catalogue this year is this. So these are colour palettes, and again they're dotted throughout the catalogue. So this card here has is pear, pizzazz, rococo, rose, crumb cake and very vanilla. So it sort of gives you all the information about that card and the colour palette. But these colour palettes are a great jumping off point. You know those days, and we all have them, every crafter has them, those days when your mojo has gone. You know, you don't know what to make, you're sat there, you're staring at a blank piece of cardstock and you can't make anything. I have those days, same as all of you. And then what I do is I do something to get started with my creativity. So sometimes I'll go through the catalogue and I'll find a card, I don't know, so let's pick something. I've got to find something now. Okay, so this one here. So this is a card front. I'm just hoping you can see it. It's got a die cut piece. It's got one of those gold hoops, and it's got some embellishments. So I can take that as a plan or a map, and I'll pick the dies that I have and the stamps that I have, and I'll make something using my stuff but is the same in essence of those shapes. The other thing that I will do is use the colour combos that I can see in the catalogue. So I will just get a set of stamps out and the colours that says and the cardstock, and then I'll just make something with that. And I know that the colours are going to go because they're a tried and tested colour combination, and it won't matter, you know, what I'm doing, because when you've lost your mojo, that's when you really need to make something and it will kickstart you. Does anyone else have any tips about, you know, mojo, your mojo going? Let's have a look. Lynn says she's got her wish list ready. And Rosie's here and Michelle's here and Michelle's here. That's funny. 2 notifications of 2 Michelles. So is your wish list long, Lynn? Yeah, I placed another order today, so my wish list is very long. But yeah, there are a few things that I couldn't live without, and actually it's funny because when the orders come through and I see what people are buying and I think, oh, that's interesting, and I go and look at the stamps because I miss stuff in the catalogue. We always do. But my impulse purchase today were the zebras. I needed the zebras. It's called Zany Zebras. Where are they? I just decided I needed something fun. So they're here. And it's got a lovely happy birthday and really cute zebras. So obviously I can do the zebras in black and white, but you know me, I will probably make purple zebras. So yeah, so that's good. Ah, Chris, that's a really good thing. So Chris has just said when she's doing some die cutting, she cuts some extras for when she has a no idea day or a lack of mojo day. And that's great, a great thing. A couple of weeks ago, I shared with everybody a technique called herringbone, which is about strips of paper and then putting something to embellish it on the top or just a sentiment. So things like that will really help when you are struggling to make something. Yeah, the zebras are now getting a lot of love. So yeah, they weren't on my list, but they made it on my list. So today I am talking about another bundle, but it's not a product suite, it's a stamp set and a punch. And it is this one. It's called Field of Flowers. And the reason, I'm sure you can see what the reason is. The reason I bought this is this little creature here, look. There's a dragonfly. There's a stamp set with a dragonfly. I'm going to buy it. So it's there's a stamp set, and also there is this punch, and this is it's classed as a confetti punch, but it's a border punch. So I'm going to show you the punch. I'm going to show you the stamp set. I've got several different cards to make. I had to sort of limit myself, just obviously because of time constraints. But you will be seeing quite a lot of this in videos going forwards. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and it's nice to have a punch with little flowers, because if you make a mistake, you finished your card and you stick your finger in your ink pad, which we all do, then having a little flower or a butterfly or a gem, rhinestone, helps cover those little mistakes up. So I'm really excited that we've got something like that back in the catalogue. Joanne's here. Don't worry, you are welcome. Even whenever you can arrive. So what else did I need to say? Oh, last couple of things. I've had several people join my team yesterday, which is very exciting. So do consider joining. At the moment, we've got a really great special offer. So you can join stamping up for £99. You get £130 worth of product and a bundle of your choice. It's the best deal to get your products at a discount, which ultimately is what we want, isn't it? Crafters, we love a discount. So I'm very happy to talk to you about it, and if you want to email me or message me, I can do that. And everybody is welcome to join my team. I have a great mix of team members all over the UK and into Europe. So we have lots of online events. We have in-person events when we're allowed to have them. But it's just a great community of crafters, and I would love you to join me. And my craft along. So each month I host a craft along. That's over in my Inspiring Inkin Crafting Corner group, and you can join the craft along in one of two ways. You can either place an order with me that before postage is £30 or €35, and you place that order in June for the July craft along. So I'm doing one in June, but that was for people shopping in May. So we're kind of always a month behind. And if you are not placing an order this month, you can still join because you can purchase a kit. And the kit is £12 or €15. That includes the postage. And what happens is I parcel up cardstock and paper and embellishments, all sorts of different things. And we craft together in the group. So I do a Facebook Live like I'm doing now, but you have the products in order to craft along with me. And it's a great thing to do, to hang out together and craft together. If you're watching me currently on YouTube or on my blog, you're watching the replay, then don't worry, because the craft along is recorded as well, so you can watch it on YouTube, or if you can't make that date, that's fine too. Okay, so do we want to get on with some crafting? I think we do. Ooh, let's see. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions before I turn you around. So Amanda says she's joining. Yay! Well done. Yes, the offer lasts till the end of June. So that's really good. And Jackie, how much do you need to spend to meet the requirements? Okay. It's a short answer. So the minimum requirements to stay as a demonstrator are 300 CSV a quarter, which works out, I'm just going to give you UK prices at the moment, but it works out at about £280 at catalogue price per quarter. Anybody joining now has until the end of September to meet that minimum requirement, to continue on beyond that. So all of your purchasers between now and the end of September would get a minimum of a 20% discount. And obviously, so long as you meet that minimum requirement, you would continue on for another quarter and so on. I am finding that a lot of the team are sharing the catalogues with their friends, or again, when we can have events, they're having events as well. And with their own purchasers, that's how they're meeting their quarterly minimums. But if for some reason you can't meet them, then you can finish as a demonstrator and there's nothing to pay back, no penalties. And you just go back to being one of my awesome customers again. So it's it's one of those things, I say this all the time, I'm not entirely sure why I have customers. I love you all, but actually you should be team members because then you'll get some more discount and more crafting stuff. And we all need more stuff, don't we? Particularly with a catalogue like this one. Okay, right. Let me know, Amanda or Jackie, if you've got any more questions, or anyone else if you've got any more questions. I love my team and I want you all to join. Right, let me cover you over with a bit of cardstock and turn you around because I've got some crafting to do. Okay, right, so I've got a bit of a different setup again today. Okay, I have no idea what happened then. You all disappeared. That was not good. Right. Are you back? Can you? Because Oh dear, that was all a bit scary then because you all went away. Woo. Okay, right. Let's hope. Vivian, am I back? I can't. My heart stops then when I'm all gone. Hooray! I'm back. I'm back. Good. Right. Let's see. Right, I'm back, but a bit stoppy and starty. Okay. Let's hope we are all good. Okay, so let's just look at this stamp set and the punch. Yeah, let me just move that wire out of the way as well. Okay. And have a slurp of my coffee. Right. And breathe. Okay. So let's just quickly talk about this punch first. But I need a piece of cardstock. Okay. Let me just get a piece of card. So this punch is fabulous. It cuts out 2, 4, 6 flowers at once, but it does make a border. So I'm just going to show you how to do the border if you've not come across the punches before. The first thing is there is a slider here at the bottom, and that basically locks the punch in place so you can stack them and store them flat. You're going to put your cardstock in and push it right to the back. Okay. And then punch. And you get your lovely flowers and you get your lovely punched out pieces. And then to make it a border, you put it back in again. And these holes, you're going to line up with the silver bits here. So you're just going to move it along until it matches up, and then you punch again, and then you do the same in reverse at the bottom, like that, and that is what gives you a lovely border. Now, I've made some cards using this border, but I'm not showing you them today. They're for a video. So I just wanted to show you how to do this. I also quickly want to show you how to stamp and punch them out as well. I'm not actually doing this today on the card. Okay, so on the stamp set, these flowers here will be punched out by the punch. So I'm going to show you how to line it up, but like I said, I'm not actually doing it today. I'm not using them in that way today. So let's just look at these flowers and look at the punch a minute. So you can see, hopefully you can see, that the 2 little flowers are quite near the bottom. So when you are stamping, the first thing that you need to do is get your stamping mat out. Okay, this is a photopolymer stamp. Always use your stamping mat because you get a much better image. So when you're stamping, you want the 2 little flowers to be quite close to the bottom of your cardstock. Okay, so can you see they're quite close there? So when you turn this over, you're going to pop it in and you're going to wiggle it around to line up the flowers. If you stamp it too high, it's a bit more tricky. Oh, let me just move that bit up. There we go. Okay, I'm hoping, actually, shall I bring it up? I'm hoping that you can see. So it's the same with every kind of punch. You just need to get it lined up. But you will find it much better. Find it much better? That's not even English. Oh, what am I saying? You'll find it much I've moved it now. You'll find it much easier if you stamp near the bottom. Okay? There we go. And they go everywhere. So just be warned. But look, you can see you're getting a lovely border around the edge. Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. All the way from San Francisco. How are you guys doing over there? Oh, miss not seeing you in Maui this year. Yeah, but hopefully next year. Hopefully I will see you then. Okay, Amanda, take care. Let me know if you've got any questions about joining. That will be lovely. Okay, so shall we make a card? Let's do that. Okay, so what am I doing? I've got Highland Heather, Pear Pizzazz. I have embossed Pear Pizzazz with Scripty, which I adore. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White card, and this is 3.5 inches square, and it's going to go on there like that. Okay, so Sharon's saying it's another warm day in San Francisco, and then the fog rolls back in. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, that San Francisco fog. Okay, so I am going to get the Pear Pizzazz ink out first, and I think you probably saw me just do that, guys, but I've just put the stamping mat underneath, because where I'm going to be stamping, some of the images are going to go off the edge, and I don't want it to go on my mat. So I'm just going to ink up the leaves, grass, leaves, and I'm going to stand up again, because I want to make sure that it goes all the way over to the edge. It's such a pretty stamp. And then I'm going to put my flowers in. So the flowers, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to randomly put them on, because basically they could be joined to any of those leaves there. I would turn that round. Do it that way. I'm going to have one flower up in the air there. That's okay, because I've got some more leaves to put on. Okay, so I'm going to flower there. And flower there. What else have we got? So I don't know what these are. I think they look to me a bit like carnations. And I have just realised I'm using the wrong ink. Okay, so I've got Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and I'm supposed to be using Gorgeous Grape for something else. It'll look lovely. It'll look like I just designed it like that. See? Right. I'm just going to... It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Look. I can't do that. I can't have a green leaf, green flower even. Right, let's try this again. I hope you guys are giggling along with me because this is just silly. It's all going a bit pear-shaped today. I'm pleased you're laughing, Lynn. I am here to entertain. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put my little happy birthday in there like that. It's like I designed it like that. And yeah, so I'm just going to do the inside very quickly because, you know, then nothing else can go wrong at the same time. Yes, Sharon, you all needed a laugh. Lynn, so you've seen me demonstrate in your house so many times. Is this like, this is exactly like I was in your house, isn't it? Because this is exactly what happens every time. It's like, oh yeah. No, didn't mean to do that. Right, let's do some gluing, shall we? Because this is finished. This card's finished. Can't use that. Look at that. Somebody's left that on an ink pad. Right. Okay. So yesterday, you really liked me doing a stepped up card. So I thought I'd do another one today. Ah, you see. What set is that happy birthday from? Exactly, Anne. What set is it from? I will get it for you. It's from Seaside Notions. And you all know my obsession with happy birthday stamps. And yeah, you all know my obsession with happy birthday stamps. And this is just so cool. I love the scripty bit and then the capitals. It looks like it's an old typewriter. And, you know, Kimberly, my daughter, is a biologist, and I couldn't, therefore, not get something with a seahorse on it. So, thanks for the reminder, Lynn, because Lynn's saying, where's the dragonfly? Yeah, not there yet. But it will be. Are you ready? Ta-da! That finishes the card. Does that not finish the card? Okay. Right. What have we got? Got my dimensional box of doom. By the time I've finished all these Facebook Lives, I will have completely used up all these ends, I'm sure. So... they're good for corners, look. Look there, there's another sheet gone. Hooray! Oh, right. Let's get that one out. Okay. Two more little bits. Then get that off. The poor dog. I found her earlier on and she's got about 4-dimensional backings on her. Bless her. I don't know, she'd obviously been snuffling around when I'd finished. Look, that's so cool. You need this stamp set, don't you? You absolutely do. Okay, so card number 1. I'm going to get another piece and the right colour ink. And this time we are going to step it up a little bit with a few extra bits. So I'm going to do the same kind of layout with a bit more of that flower on there. And the right colours. There we go. Ooh, they've done it again. I've only got 3 ink pads on the table. You wouldn't have thought it was that difficult, would you? Really? Let's stand up. So that's that one. That's that one. Okay. So this time I'm actually going to use the sentiment from the set, which this time it's going to be always. And then thinking of you. Okay. And then I am going to get my punch. Oh, hang on. Let me put my dragonfly on first. And, oh, dragonfly inside of the card. Oh no, Jackie's going. Okay, Jackie, if you want a quick chat on the phone or over email, I'm really happy to give you a bit more information about joining. I think you'd be awesome. So there we go. Okay, so that's the inside, that's that one. So I've already punched out a few flowers, but I'm just going to punch out a few more. I'm just going to grab my mat and just show you what we need to do. So they go everywhere. It's because the punch is strong. They ping everywhere. Okay. So one of the prizes that I said I would give away today was a take your pick tool, which is currently under the table. Oh, so this is the take your pick tool, and if you've not seen this before, I have done a video on it. It's on YouTube, but it's amazing. So it has blue-green putty stuff here, and what you do is you turn it and the putty comes out, and you can use it to pick things up with, which is very, very cool. At the other end you have some interchangeable things. So what I'm using at the moment are the ball tool, and there's 2 different ends. So if you've lost your ball tool from your Simply Scored, this works brilliantly. And then you've got another one, which is a pokey tool and a little spatula. And it's really good for picking stuff up. You can also get a die brush to go on this as well, which is great for getting little intricate bits out of your dies. But what I'm using this for is bending stuff. So the Stampin' Pierce mat, you take the ball tool in the centre of the flower and squish it. And what that does is it creases the flower, even the teeny ones. It creases the flower, so it gives it dimension. And then it really stands out on the card. So what I am going to do is get my glue dots and pick them up and pop it on a glue dot. Stay. So then they're easy to pick up off there. So you can kind of go round with these. And if, like this flower is a bit smaller than the glue dot, just wrinkle up your glue dot. Nobody will see it. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit lumpy. Stay. It's not going to stay now. And then that one will go on there like that. Okay, and then you can lift them off there and position them where you want them. Here. It's not going to do it now. Hang on. Let me get the other bit. Get the little spatula look. And then you can just slide underneath it and pop it down. And just curl up those edges. So odd numbers always. Flower arranging, gardening, stamping. Actually, I'm going to put this teeny one. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the teeny weeny one. Where's that glue dot gone? This is so tiny, look, but it'll look really pretty, and it will just go down there. Just squash your glue dot down, and then somewhere on my desk, I've been concentrating, so I haven't been looking at the comments. I will get back to the comments momentarily, or when I found the rhinestones that were here. Okay, when I go and find the other rhinestones, they probably just floated off the table. Okay, so this is obviously where I keep my rhinestones, and we want the little ones. So I'm just checking that I'm still in shot. Da, da, da. Look what a difference teeny tiny rhinestones make, even on teeny tiny flowers. One more. There we go. So let's get the rest of this card set up. So, looking for glue. Don't know why I put my hands up in the air. It's like I'm expecting somebody to throw it to me. I probably could do with that. Would be cool, wouldn't it? If I had somebody like that who could, you know, who would do that, who would just stand in my craft room and hand me things. That would be good. Oh, Joanne's saying that this is a new tool to maybe add to her stash. Yeah, it is fab. It is fab. Roz loves it too. Welcome, Chrissy. Chrissy's just arrived. Let me just finish these last. Look, that's another sheet of dimensionals gone. Hurrah. Okay. Oh, that's got backing on both sides. So I'm nearly finished with this card. I do have one more card to show you in a minute, but I will put these two side by side. And I just think it's really important to see what you can do with like a little bit of extra something. Sometimes it's adding a bit of ribbon or some embellishments. You know, different things. I've done the inside the same. And do please always put an insert in. It gives you somewhere to write, and it just finishes off the card just by having a little stamped image there. Okay, so there's card number 2, there's card number 1. So, what do we like the best? Do we like the sparkles and the punched out bits? It's all gone quiet. Whilst I'm just waiting for you guys to reply, I'm going to get rid of the dangerous ink pads, because open ink pads are always dangerous. And just clean the stamps because I need to use them again in a second. Chris has said that the take your pick tool was on her wish list, but it's now going to be on her next order. Yeah, you see, that's why you need to see stuff in action, because you know, you don't know that you need something until you see it. Ooh, Vivian likes the first one better. Sharon likes both of them. Good. Right. We are good to go. Okay. So I'm going to move those out of the way for now. And I'm going to bring in a sponge brayer. So, how many of you have got sponge brayers, or brayers in fact, and don't use them or are scared of them? Because whenever I suggest at class, oh, let's get the brayers out, the people go, oh no, I'm scared of the brayer. Okay, so I don't want you to be scared, and that's why I'm going to share this card with you today. So there are lots of different brayers on the market. Stampin' Up have these sponge ones now. This is the point at which I just double check that they're still in the catalogue. Yes. that was a moment there. Yes, they are here, look. Number 19, £7.50. You get 2 handles and 4 sponge bits. Now, people think that brayering is a bit of a black art and it's something that's really hard to do, and it isn't, but you can't be scared of it. Just don't be scared. So Lynn's saying Maria is the brayer queen. Marion's just ordered them. Faye, what am I cleaning the stamps on? Faye, I am using a Simply Chamois. It's in the catalogue. It is on Chamois, page 163. It's this purple thing. It's really cool. It's like a sponge, and you just put water on it and it cleans the stamps really well. After a while, I just rinse it under the tap, and then when I've been using it in class or I've been using it for a long time, I put it in the washing machine. Obviously not with any clothes because the ink all comes out, but they're really cool. Right, so let's talk about brayering. What I'm actually going to do, I think, is bring you guys a bit closer. So just hold tight while I just zoom you in a bit so you can see a bit better. Okay, so look, I've got ink all over this already, and ink all over me. So the thing to know about brayering is you start off the paper and you go off the paper. So you don't start on the piece of cardstock, you go all the way across. So I'm going to flip that over, and I always start with the lightest colour first. So the colours I've got are, let me just move this down a bit. The colours I've got are So Saffron, Calypso Coral and Cajun Craze. I'll bring the ink pad over the top so you can see. So the way I am inking it up is I'm rolling it and rolling it backwards and forwards, forwards and backwards on the lightest colour to get plenty of ink on it. And then I'm just going to wait for the screen that I'm watching to catch up with me before so I just want to make sure that this cardstock is fully in shot. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do, I'm starting off here and I'm going to go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and I've got a bit of a flat spot, can you see that there? And that's because I didn't have enough ink on all the brayer, so I'm going to roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, and go again. And the Whisper White cardstock is great for this technique. It really absorbs the ink. So that's my So Saffron. I'm then going to get, what colour is this? Calypso Coral. And I'm going to go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards there. And then I'm going to use Cajun Craze. Now, as always, when you're using a lot of ink on a project, it is going to look a bit different when you've finished, when it's dried, because the ink just needs a bit of time to settle out. So I've got the 3 layers there. I'm just going to clean my brayer off a bit because I'm going to go to Calypso Coral now. And obviously what you can do is you can use a different brayer for different colours. So I'm just going to go over. So that's the middle colour, and what that's doing is just blending the colours out. So again, take that colour off, a bit more So Saffron. There we go. Oh, right. What I'm going to do, so that's actually finished, is I'm going to take the ink pads away. I'm going to take that grid paper away as well. So you can see how straightforward it is to get a sunset type effect. Now, it can be a sunset or it can be a sunrise. Depends on which way you want it. So it will work this way, but equally it will work this way as well. Right, I'm just going to lift you up again a little bit because otherwise I'm gonna hit my head on my phone, and knocking me out halfway through a live would not be a good plan. Okay, so I am going to work with it this way up. Again, I'm going to put my foam mat under my grid paper because I'm working with photopolymer. So I am now going to use Memento black ink. I'm going to make this into a silhouette. Now, black ink. So we have 2 types of black ink. We have Memento and we have Stays on Black. Memento is the ink that you need to use if you're using alcohol markers like our blends. It's really important that you don't use Stays On if you're going to use blends, because that's an alcohol-based ink, a solvent-based ink, so it will bleed and it won't be good for your pens. So if you're using blends, use Memento. But equally, if you have photopolymer stamps, you need to use Memento as well. The photopolymer does not like Stays On. It really, really hates stays on cleaner. Okay, so please don't use it, because eventually it will start to degrade your stamps. So don't use it. Or if you have to use it because of what you're trying to achieve, make sure you clean it straight away, and then give it a clean on a chamois or with a cloth and some water, something like that, to make sure you've got all the chemicals off it. I want you to love your stamps for a very long time and them give you good service, but using stays on with photopolymer is just not a good plan. Okay, so any more questions? Daphne's in the building. Hi, Daphne. And Faye has got the original cleaning pad, the wet and dry. That is still absolutely fabulous. I love my chamois, particularly for my photopolymer stamps. So, okay, so any questions about ink? I have got a PDF actually on my blog, but I can email it out to you if you don't have it. And that tells you which inks you use with which types of stamps and what their purposes are. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the grass and the leaves. And I'm going to start, I just want to make sure that it just goes off the edge. I love the way this works in silhouette. So then I'm going to get the flowers, and I'm just going to be a little bit careful about where I'm putting them. I just want to be able to see them. So I want a couple there. I'll turn it around. Yeah, that works better there. Okay. And then I want to add in my dragonflies. And my happy birthday. And that is my card finished. I'm just going to mat it and layer it now. Okay, so Sheridan's asking, what is brayering and do different rollers give different patterns? Okay, so if you look at this now, Sheridan, the ink is pretty much blended. Most brayers will give you that blended look. There are on the market, Stampin' Up used to have them, rubber based brayers, and they're actually more difficult to use because quite often you get a hard line. The benefit of a sponge brayer is that you get a softer line, and basically it's a sponge roller, so it's just like a paint roller. They just call it a brayer. That's just its name. So let's get some ink. Oh. Let's get some Tombow. And this looks pretty. When you mat it and layer it, it looks even prettier. I just love the way a border makes such a difference. Faye, you can come again with wows. That makes me so happy. Look. I just love that. Just so simple, isn't it? So straightforward. Only takes a minute to do. So let's bring in the other cards. I'm trying not to get ink all over them because I need to take pictures of them in a minute. So I'll just hold those down. How are we doing for time? Ooh, not too bad. About an hour and 10 minutes. I'm trying to keep within an hour-ish. There you go. So there we have it. So we've got the two stepped cards and then something really different with a sponge brayer. So does anyone have any questions about any of the things that I've shown, or need to see anything else? Need to see the take your pick tool or anything else? This sunset type effect, you can do it, actually it looks beautiful with blues and greens, or you can make a much more sort of stormy sky with greys and blues. That works really well. 3 colours usually is what I work with. Any more, it tends to get a bit muddy, but 3 colours, 3 tonal colours works really well. Oh, Debbie, that's so funny. She said that this set was on her order and then she took it off her order. What was she thinking? Yeah, exactly. It's so cool. It's so cool, and it's got a dragonfly on it. Yeah, it should be a rule that everyone has to have all the dragonfly stamp sets, because then Stampin' Up will keep bringing them to the catalogue. So that's really good. Faye is saying thank you. Ross, thank you too. I'm pleased I'm inspiring you and you are happy and giggling along with me. So like I said, does anyone have any more questions? It's all gone quiet. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, I will finish up for today. I will be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So I'll be live on Facebook, and obviously you can catch me on my blog or on YouTube on the replay later, and obviously there'll be a replay on Facebook as well. So Faye's, hang on, let me just read these questions a minute. A very effective Christmas sky with blues. Yes, Anne, that would look lovely. The braid background with the mountain stamp, said Chris. Yes, that's made it into the catalogue. That would look really nice. It's called Mountain Air. So the chamois doesn't stain the photopolymer stamps as much as the other pad when cleaning. So it's not the chamois or the cleaning pad that is staining your stamps, Faye. It's the ink. So let me just show you. So this is beginning to get pink, and it's photopolymer stains. It's just what it does. It just absorbs the ink, and your stamps will be clean, but they will just be stained, and they'll be stained pink. But Faye, if you've got the old cleaning pad, let me just get it so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Stamp and Scrub. Let's have a look. 163. Yeah, so it's this. It's a Stampin' Scrub, and basically it's microfiber and it's got scrub pads. So you have one side for clean and one side for dirty. But Faye, if you think it's staining your stamps, it could be that it needs a wash. They get to a point where they've got so much ink on them that they're actually putting ink onto your stamps rather than taking the ink off. So the thing to do with them is take it to the sink and run some warm water and just run it over the, so if this is your pad, so run it so it runs down and out, and you'll get a lot of the ink off that way. Then make sure you put a pair of rubber gloves on. Give it a squirt with fairy liquid, not too much because you'll be there for hours. Make it bubbly and then rinse it and rinse it and rinse it till it runs clean. And then I stand it like that on the draining board until it dries. And that will clean your stamping scrub for you. Lots of people saying see you tomorrow. Oh, and Sharon's saying, why odds rather than evens? Right, so it's actually a sciencey thing. It's the way your eyes work. So so you can see I've got three dragonflies. If you look at something that has an even number, so if it's got 4 or 6, your eyes will look at it and they will expect them to be evenly spaced. And if they're not, your eyes look at it and go, it's wrong. So if you're trying to do a random pattern, but you put 4 down, it just looks odd. But if you put the 5th one down, your brain sees it as like an odd number and accepts that it's random. There must be some kind of sciencey report thing, I don't know, something like that. But it's just the rule. The rule. Odd numbers. And gardeners and flower arrangers will tell you the same as well. Okay, so Belinda, Maureen. Right, so Faye, no, it's probably just your scrub. Right, okay, never used gloves, got covered. Okay, that's good. Right, so I think that's everything. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all live here tomorrow. And thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.